the best hair transplant clinic in Turkey.
My name is Seven. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I came here to get my hair transplant done. I got it done yesterday, just finished my first wash. Ali made sure he take very, very, very good care for me. I'm very appreciative. They came and got me from the airport. The ride was amazing. AC in the van, Wi-Fi in the van, and it's been a pleasure here the whole time. My procedure was absolutely painless. I think I actually fell asleep twice during my procedure. I'm so grateful, and I can't wait to see my results. Thank you again, Ali.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are jumping right into what the research and, patient reviews are saying about a very specific procedure, Afro hair transplants in Turkey for Black men and women. We're going to look at the science, the costs, and, of course, the results. All right, let's just get right to it with the big question on everyone's mind. You hear it all the time, right? That transplanting Afro-textured hair is just, more difficult, maybe even riskier. But is that actually true? Let's find out. So here's what's super interesting. All the source material points to the same thing. The challenge isn't really the hair itself. Not at all. It's all about the surgeon's expertise. It comes down to finding someone with a specific, specialized skill to get it right. It's a skill issue, not a hair issue. Okay, so to really get why that specialized skill is so critical, we have to look at the science of the curl itself. We need to understand the unique biology of Afro-textured hair, because the real difference is happening under the surface, where you can't even see it. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the matter. See, with straight hair, the follicle goes straight down. But with Afro-texture hair, the follicle is curved. It's like a spiral beneath the scalp. That means a surgeon can't just go in with a standard approach. No way. They need totally different angles, different tools, all to get that graft out safely without damaging it. So when you look at the research, success really boils down to these four things. First, the surgeon has to actually recognize that curved follicle shape. Then they need to use an adapted punch angle to get it out. Third, they have to implant it so the curl direction looks totally natural. And here's the really clever part. An expert will plan the density based on visual volume, not just the number of grafts, because the beautiful structure of Afro hair can create incredible fullness with fewer hairs. It's about working smarter. This need for very specific, hands-on experience naturally leads to our next question. You see it everywhere in patient reviews. So why Turkey? How did it become such a major hub for this particular procedure? Well, the sources highlight a really powerful combination of things. First, you've got this incredible volume of surgeries. When you do something that much, you get really, really good at it, especially with the unique challenges of Afro hair. Then they wrap all that experience into these all-inclusive, cost-effective packages. We're talking VIP service, transfers, hotels, interpreters, the whole shebang. It just makes the entire process incredibly smooth for people traveling from abroad. And here's the bottom line, right? All that experience translates into results people are happy with. When you dig into the verified patient reviews, two things pop up over and over. People are really satisfied with how natural it looks, and this is huge, the original curl pattern is preserved. That's the real win. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about the actual transplant techniques. The sources usually focus on two main methods, FUE and DHI. And it's not a case of one being better than the other, it's about picking the right tool for the job. Yeah, so you've got FUE and DHI. Think of FUE as your go-to for covering bigger areas, for getting that overall density back. The grafts go into channels that the surgeon makes beforehand. But then you have DHI. This technique uses a special pen-like tool to implant each hair directly. It gives the surgeon incredible control, which is why it's absolutely ideal for the delicate, detailed work of designing a perfect, natural-looking hairline. All right, so the procedure's done. Now what? Well, this part is a journey of patience. It's not an overnight transformation, and the research gives us a really clear timeline so you know exactly what to expect. This timeline is so important for managing expectations. For the first 10 days, you're just healing up. Then comes a phase called shock loss between 1 and 3 months. Now, don't panic, this is totally normal. The transplanted hairs shed before the new, permanent ones grow in. And that new growth really starts to kick in around 3 to 6 months. But for that final, dense result with that beautiful curl definition, you're looking at about 9 to 12 months. Patience really is key here. Okay, now for the part everyone wants to know about, the cost. Let's break down the numbers because the financial side of this is a huge piece of the puzzle, and the data shows some pretty massive differences depending on where you go. I mean, just look at these numbers. They speak for themselves, right? For a pretty standard 3,000 graft procedure, the price in Turkey is just a fraction of what you'd be looking at in the USA or the UK. And here's the kicker. That lower price in Turkey is usually for an entire package. In the US and UK, that much higher price is often just for the surgery itself. It's a huge difference. And if we drill down to the cost per graft, the picture gets even clearer. This table from the source lays it all out. You can see Turkey and India are offering really competitive prices, while countries like the US, UK, and Canada, well, they're in a completely different ballpark on a per graft basis. So, after looking at all this, the science, the location, the cost, what are the big takeaways? If you're doing your own research, what should you really be zeroing in on? It all boils down to finding the right kind of proof. The sources are really clear on this. You have to be specific with your research. Don't just accept a clinic's general before and afters. You need to ask to see a deep portfolio of their work specifically on Afro-textured hair, hunt down verified reviews from other Black men and women, and get ready to ask tough questions, like, tell me about the exact techniques and tools you use for curved follicles. That proven, specialized experience is everything. Which really brings us to the final, crucial question you should be asking yourself. After seeing all this, it's clear the question isn't just, hey, does this procedure work? The real question is, who out there has proven they can make it work for me and my hair? That's the key to making an informed choice.